Hi, I'm Lou Marquez for the International Training and Research Center, and I'm back here with Andrew, and we're going to have a discussion about tape. One of the things that we did with his bowling ball was we kind of told him that in the fitting process, we'd like to use tape, and that's one of the things that we talked about, how a lot of pros actually will use tape at some capacity to get that perfect fit. So what I wanted to do is kind of give you some samples of the different types that we have, and for the reasons why we use them, in our bowling ball or on our thumb. So here we have two different distinct types. Early on in our industry, we kind of grew up with the idea of using some kind of vinyl tape, whether it be a textured white tape or even a smooth black tape. And you can kind of get a feel for these two products. You can see the distinct differences in the texture.
Oh yeah, much smoother.
Years ago, the idea was that we used white for friction purposes to hold on and grasp onto the ball. So we would generally put that onto the front side pad of the thumb.
Okay.
And then generally it was thought of that the idea was that the black was to help smooth that exit out, take some of that roughness out of the bowling ball, and just kind of ease that thumb release out of the bowling ball.
Okay.
But these tapes do come in varying thicknesses as well, not only in widths and lengths, but the thickness of it. So we can kind of make up a lot of space if we need to, if your thumb is kind of small that day, or if you're swelling, we can take some of that tape out and then kind of use a smaller one.
Okay.
So this is kind of what we grew up with early on in our industry. Then they actually created some new ideas and new styles in the tape, and we started seeing smaller pre-cut tape, the 1/2 inch that you can see, and we use this primarily for fingers. So being that you have a ball that doesn't have inserts, this would be a good application for taking up the space in the fingers, whether we use it on the pad side or on the back side, just kind of make up some room. Then we started seeing the colored tapes, and these can kind of change the texture. As a matter of fact, one of the manufacturers uses different styles of vinyl tape to actually help with the control of that exit, of that speed of that thumb. So not only do we have texture to hold on, but we also have the ability for that texture to allow us to come out of the ball quicker or slower. And that can help with sometimes easing that thumb's release, especially under humid conditions or days where you might be perspiring a little bit more from activity. You're that athlete guy, so that might happen. So, and then we have the cotton fitting tapes. This is kind of new in our industry. I kind of like this idea. This also comes not only in different colors, but in different textures. This is a cotton material. Think of it like denim or silk or things like that. And the texture of this will control the speed of how your thumb exits out of the ball. So think of it like tape in reverse, but on your hand. Okay, so we have a glued back. And what we do with this, and I kind of show you that. This is kind of unique how this application goes on. We'll peel this back a little bit. And this kind of is unique tape. It actually goes onto your thumbnail, and we want to kind of affix that on, press that on. And what we want to do is keep the thumb as straight as possible. And we're going to stretch that out and then kind of get that to flatten down and kind of rub it, because we're activating the glue mechanism on there. And now if you start to bend your thumb, you start to feel a little resistance there.
Oh yeah.
You notice that? It kind of keeps your thumb straight.
Yeah, it keeps it straight.
Yeah, so this kind of helps us with the idea of kind of getting that idea of squeezing too much and more of pressing. And this is a really good way of learning how to develop the right feel for grasping a ball. You want to actually press versus pinch. Press versus pinch. You don't want to do this, you want to do this.
That definitely.
So you feel the difference in how to do that, right?
Yeah, it does.
So again, like we said, different speeds are controlled by the thicknesses of the tape. So you'll see a lot of the different companies come up with mostly different identifying colors. And they may have some numbering system that helps them with how fast that exit or release happens. Some manufacturers make it in rolls, some manufacturers make it in pre-cut, different widths. Some come pre-boxed. So everybody's got, pretty much a tape in the industry. Every manufacturer has kind of helped us with the idea of grip pressure and how to customize that. So it's kind of a unique product, and you'll find one that fits you the best. So you kind of want to experiment while we can.
Yeah, a lot of options, for comfort, speed, lots of different things. I had no idea that different color codings and all that really played into what you want to use. But yeah, a lot of options.
Yeah, so a little bit more information about the fit.